Hello, my friends, hello, and welcome once again to the exciting Vonn Manor for another action-packed episode of Halls of Adventure. Yes, it's Halls of Adventure once again. Let's find out what old Roger back there has been spending money on while I've been gone. I was away at the Rustic Vonn Lodge for a while. This guy was home alone. He accidentally opened an interdimensional portal to a parallel universe. A clone of me managed to get in here at the Manor, made a film about how great ebooks were. He used his magic. He sent that guy back to the mirror universe where he belongs. And today we're going to be talking about good old paper books. Bunch of good old paper books that showed up here at the Manor. Thanks, Roger, for keeping things under control and buying a bunch of stuff while I was out. Also got a couple things in the mail from Criminali. Criminali did something that wasn't evil for a change. So actually, it's probably part of some plot. We'll see. I don't care. They're cool books. So I always start with the comic books anyway. So let's start with the comic books that Criminali sent me. He sent me a couple graphic novels. And these were originally published in 2000 AD, which is some comic that used to be printed in Britain. I don't know if it's still around. Is it still around 2000 AD? I don't know. But it was some British comic, which I never was able to read much of because I'm in America. So here it is. This is Halo Jones, is one of the books that he sent me. I've never actually read this, and so this was pretty exciting to get, Halo Jones, which was written by Alan Moore. This is early Alan Moore, with art by Ian Gibson. So this is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to reading this. And probably even more exciting than that, I've got The Essential Judge Dredd, Volume 1, America. America. Yeah, this is about Judge Dredd. It's about America after the Republicans take over. That's what this is about. And, you know, he's some crazy right-wing guy who hates democracy. And so, yeah, Judge Dredd. That's going to be fun to read. Judge Dredd. And so I also got this other comic book that showed up here in the mail. It was on order. This is another big Conan omnibus. This is Savage Sword of Conan Omnibus number 7. Geez, we're already at 7. This is notable because it has the last few issues that John Buscema drew as the regular artist of Savage Sword of Conan, which was, this has issues 88 through 101. And this was the black and white Conan comic book. It's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And I think this ran actually all the way into the 90s, so there should be a few more of these showing up, which I get to try to find shelf space for. That'll be exciting. So those are the comics that showed up. Thanks again, Criminali, for sending me those 2 graphic novels. That was really cool of you. I appreciate it. Now let's get to the paperback books. I got a few of those this time. The first one I got for Garbogust. Garbogust. It's a hard word to say. But Garbogust is going to be a month of reading garbage, trashy fiction. We're reading all Garbogust. This is a reading event that was created by Criminali. He doesn't have all the details worked out yet, but eventually he will, and he'll make like a big announcement video and stuff like that. But I was going to read a bunch of books on the Kindle for Garbogust, but then I realized that that would be unfair. People need to see you reading garbage. That should be part of it. You should like read these garbagey books in a public space, and everybody should be able to see the trash you're reading. And so I got a physical copy of this, The Survivalist Volume 1 Total War by Jerry Ahern. So this is going to be exciting. This is a Garbogust must. I mean, look at that. Apparently this was a whole series, and Criminali on his channel is reading the whole series. So, yeah, you know it's total trash. So I'm looking forward to this. The Survivalist. So, yeah, there's that. Bunch of other books here. This one I've actually been looking for a long time, and I finally found it. Excuse the terrible dog. King of the World's Edge by H. Warner Munn. This is an old-timey book written by H. Warner Munn. The only other thing I know that he wrote was The Werewolf of Ponkert, which I know I've shown in some video at some point. But I knew he wrote this, and so I finally found a copy. I have no idea if it's any good, but I'll find out eventually. King of the World's Edge by H. Warner Munn. That's pretty cool. Here's another book by Murray Leinster, the dean of science fiction. The world is taboo. It's taboo, this world. What's going on there? I don't know. Don't know what's going on the taboo world. But, you know, I've got this book, so I could find out. That should be interesting. I have another copy of this, but this copy looks really cool. This is A.E. Van Vogt, The Weapon Makers. The Weapon Makers. I mean, look at that cool cover. That's awesome. This is another cool Ace editions. I think these might all be Ace editions. They might all be. But this one's really cool. The Weapon Makers by A.E. Van Vogt. Yeah, that one's really cool. The next one is not just about regular barbarians. These are the super barbarians. They're super. This is by John Brunner, because every week it seems like I get a book by John Brunner, and this is my John Brunner book this week. The Super Barbarians. They're super. And they're shooting at this poor planet, which seems like a barbaric thing to do. This is Worlds for the Taking. Worlds for the Taking by Kenneth Bulmer. Kenneth Bulmer. Worlds for the Taking. That's pretty cool, but not as cool as this next one. This next one's really cool because the cover is awesome. This is Henry Kuttner's Valley of the Flame. Look at this crazy lady on this cover. Valley of the Flame by Henry Kuttner. This is not a Henry Kuttner story that I have read, so this is pretty cool that I got this. Valley of the Flame. This should be something for Garbogus, just because it's about scavengers. Scavengers in space. There's scavengers in space. How exciting must this book be? By Alan E. Norse. It is intriguing and fast-paced, according to the American Library Association. Scavengers in space. They're just out there collecting garbage in space. They're scavengers in space. So that looks pretty cool. This guy looks a little bit disturbed on this next cover. This is Starbridge by Jack Williamson and James E. Gunn. Starbridge by Jack Williamson and James E. Gunn. And he's there, I guess he's on the Starbridge, freaking out with his fanny pack. Yeah, Starbridge. Definitely don't have a... What is that? Definitely don't have a copy of this. Here's another Andre Norton. Operation Time Search. Operation Time Search. Pretty cool cover. That's very Andre Norton-y for Operation Time Search. So yeah, never read this one before. This one looks cool. Now the next one goes way out there. It goes Outside the Universe by Edmund Hamilton. Outside the Universe by Edmund Hamilton. Edmund Hamilton, great pulpy sci-fi writer, just wrote the pulpiest sci-fi stuff. And I always pick up his stuff whenever I get the chance. Especially Outside the Universe. It's outside the universe. It's got to be extra cool. Now this is a book about the present time, I think. This is The End of the World by Donald A. Wollheim. This is a collection of stories. A collection of stories about the end of the world. And apparently this at one time sold for 20 cents. Not now though. Not now that we're at the end of the world. But there's some pretty cool stories in here by Robert Heinlein, Arthur C. Clarke, Philip K. Dick, Edmund Hamilton. He's in here. Bunch of cool writers writing about the end of the world. That's really cool. And next we get Emil Petija and Saga of Lost Earths. Saga of Lost Earths by Emil Petija, which I've never even heard of. But of course I got it because look how cool it is. Look how cool this is. Of course I got it. Now you might have seen, if you faithfully follow these halls of adventures, a book called Space Viking by H. Beam Piper. I found a Space Viking with a different cover, which is also cheesy and fun. This is Space Viking by H. Beam Piper, but with this really bizarre space Viking. I guess he's a Space Viking. He doesn't look as cool as a Space Viking on the last cover, but I had to get it. I had to get it. It's a different cover. It's a perfectly good reason. Now here's a book by John W. Campbell. This is The Black Star Passes, which I've never read. But here's this guy crawling around on a bunch of messed up machinery where the Black Star passes by John W. Campbell. Could Earth withstand the forces of this unseen sun? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Now next is the original Buck Rogers novel, Armageddon 2419 AD, 2419 AD by Philip Francis Nolan. You know it's the original Buck Rogers novel because it says so. But this is Buck Rogers' first appearance was in this novel. So, yeah, got lots of intergalactic war going on the cover. So it should be violent and fun. We'll see. Armageddon 2419 AD. Now, the next one is about what happened in 1999. I don't know if you remember Doomsday 1999, but this happened Doomsday 1999. Now, I picked this up, but then as I was looking at my books, I think I've got this already. I think I've got this exact copy already. I'm going to look. This weekend, I have a project in mind where I'm going to go through the vault of ancient science fiction, and every double I find, I'm just going to pull out, and I'm just going to send it to David Wiley in a big box. Don't tell him, though. It'll be our secret, because I want it to be a surprise. So, yeah, don't tell him. But this might be one of those books, because I think I might have more than one copy of this. We'll see. But next, we have The Greatest Adventure. This is The Greatest Adventure. Look at her. Doesn't she look like she's having the greatest adventure? By John Taine. The Greatest Adventure by John Taine. Look at that. What's going on this cover? I don't know what those things are, but they don't look like any fun at all. But apparently you need them to have your greatest adventure. It's the greatest. You probably need the Arsenal of Time to deal with those monsters. Good thing I have it. Look, it's the Arsenal of Time by David McDaniel. Somewheres amongst the farthest stars was hidden the power to control the universe. Somewheres it was. Somewheres. That is a cool cover. Look at that rocket ship. Man, that's a spiky rocket ship. And next, this is actually not science fiction, but it is a vivid action-packed novel of Imperial Rome's days of shame and glory. It is Traitor's Legion. Traitor's Legion by J. Scotland. So this looks kind of Garbogusty. I don't know. I think I probably will read this in Garbogust for something. I don't know what the prompts are, even if they're going to be prompts. But I might be able to squeeze this in somewhere because, you know, look at how trashy it is. So, yeah, Traitor's Legion. I got this. So I always save my favorite books for last in these hauls. I've got two favorites this time. And the first favorite is about the greatest planet that exists in the universe. And that would be The World Without Men. Frankly, it's probably a much better place. I'm thinking World Without Men. They had forgotten what men looked like. You know, it's just as well. Really, it's just as well you forgot. Once you see him, you're going to be disappointed. Trust me. So, World Without Men. I mean, she seems upset about it, but I don't see why. So, yeah, by Charles Eric Maine. This is complete and unabridged. You have the entire novel of World Without Men. Another contender for Garb August, World Without Men. That looks pretty cool. But of course, my favorite thing that came this week to the Manor, A Cat Called Hope. The complete saga. It's the complete saga of The Cat Called Hope. Turns out it's not really the complete saga of The Cat Called Hope. This goofy writer, whoever this guy is, Oliver Clark, I don't know. He looks familiar, but this guy, Oliver Clark, he wrote this crazy book about cats, about a cat. It's a heroic cat. I actually read this book because it's super short. I just sat down, had some coffee, and read this book. It's actually pretty good. I was surprised. You don't expect A Cat Called Hope to be any good at all, but it was actually pretty good. Shockingly. Now, this is supposed to be the complete saga. How much difference can one cat make? It was supposed to be, but he wrote a couple others. A Cat, what was it? A New Beginning, A Cat Called Hope, A New Beginning. There's a new beginning, and then another story after that. So I still have more of the saga to read of A Cat Called Hope. So, of course, this is my favorite. It's my favorite this week out of all that stuff. So yeah, that was an exciting week. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know what day I'll do this next week. I guess we'll find out. But I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.